time we'll play that. Alright, that's a goal. We'll pledge to try and learn that piece in 2 years.
Let us remind Brett and Eddy that they're going to play the Paganini No Col Portanto.
Is that what it's called? No copio non mi sento!
One of the hardest violin pieces ever written, played by one of the most genius violinists we've ever had the chance to meet. We just offhandedly said, oh, we should like learn this in like 2 years.
Let's just do it. And of course, 2 years just go like this. Because we're busy practicing and making videos.
Today is 28th of September. We have
2 months.
we procrastinated a bit. But you know what?
It's fine.
Nothing practicing can't do. It's probably not
So
that
let's
hard.
just try it.
Yeah, it should be alright.
Oh, is that pitch harmonic?
How do you pitch harmonic? Oh, bro, there's 2 lines. Since when the violin has 2 lines? Bro.
Freaking out. Oh, fuck. That was 3 lines.
It's vibrato. It's vibrating the left-hand pitch. Why do we leave it till now?
We should have started in Salzburg that day. He's 16 then.
Bro,
Yes, you can't.
bro, I can't do.
It's a 4-finger double stop left hand pizzicato. Yeah.
What? How do you play that?
R.I.P. It's a drill. Your drill's going da 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 da. It's so sweet. You go.
We're so oh my god, it's 11 pages.
I need like a month a page, to be honest. Holy moly, the phrasing. Holy sh**. What's that? Double stops with the pizzicatos. Bruh.
This is not fun.
I know. It's not fun. That's actually not fun.
This piece of music is not fun to play.
What was that?
I'm getting cramps.
That was 1 bar. Dude, this is a ticket to RSI.
Yeah.
What is that?
Bro, what is this? Who does it?
How do you do that? Dude. Oh yeah, we got this.
2
Yeah, yeah.
scores again.
I think that 10th trill really messed me up.
This is how you injure violinists.
Oh, do you remember this one?
Oh yeah.
He did an up bow. You know what his advice was? Just smile and relax.
Relax. Yeah. You know what I just realized?
What?
I was tensing my butt. Well, we'll see you guys in 2 months.
We won't.
I just spent the last 30 minutes trying to figure out 2 lines of harmonics. This one took me forever to figure out. Ooh. Ah, that's just evil. Having practiced the piece, I realized just how many difficult techniques there are inside this piece that for those of you that don't play the violin, maybe you guys aren't able to appreciate. So I want to kind of highlight just some of the ridiculous, devilish things that Paganini put into this piece, and hopefully this will give you guys all a greater appreciation of how much of an insane genius ZU is for playing that piece. So right off in the beginning, you'll notice I'm playing a 4-note chord, and that's actually not what's written in the original. The original was a 3-note chord, but I'm doing 4 notes because that's what ZU did in the competition, because obviously Paganini is too easy for him. And here you'll notice these very tricky changes between ricochet and trills. In fact, the ricochets will come in a lot more throughout the rest of the piece. So here is the first really tricky diminished octave, which ZU does at like an insane speed. And here is an insane progression of chords, which is actually really hard to get in tune, but also make a nice kind of sound and a phrase that goes throughout. It's easy to get hand cramps here, and it's only the first page. So this next section is the main theme. Now, instead of just introducing the main theme, Paganini decided to add left-hand pizzicato with it. So in the music, you actually see that there's 2 lines in the music. The violinist is required to both play the melody while doing the accompaniment in the left hand at the same time, which is very tricky to do, especially in a way that is still musical and makes the melody flow. Here you have a bunch of left-hand pizzicato. It's always tricky to keep the bow smooth on the open D and not get affected by it. And as if that wasn't enough, Paganini throws in a few up bow staccatos and up bow flying staccatos here with the left-hand pizz and the melody. Now it's the first variation, which is a very bright and virtuosic variation featuring lots of double stops and thirds, which, as we all know, is very hard to play in tune on the violin. And just to make it more interesting, he also throws in a few ricochet passages. And here's an example of where I did a 4-octave arpeggio instead of 3 octaves. Again, I was just inspired by ZU's rendition, and actually throughout the piece, ZU continually finds little places to just add a bit of flair to make it even harder, because the original was actually just 3 octaves. Variation is probably very easy to generate hand cramps and RSI, because it's basically trills with double stops at the entire time. So not only am I doing different double stops that require different kind of me maneuvering my left hand into different positions, often being challenging or uncomfortable positions, but then I'm also doing very, very fast trills. I think the key to this section to make it sound good is again that the melody sounds uninterrupted, as if it was just someone playing the melody, and meanwhile still also having that accompaniment of the trills. Kind of like a similar concept to the left-hand pizzicato, except this time with trills. So this next variation is one of the most difficult sections because it features something called double harmonics. And double harmonics are very hard to get them in tune and get them to speak. To make it even harder, it's alternating with a bunch of left-hand pizzicato. So you're constantly having to switch gears, which is challenging. Speaking of switching gears, here he throws in a bunch of arpeggios and ricochets amongst the double harmonics. Practicing this passage was especially tricky because I spent a lot of time just trying to figure out how to even sound these harmonics, because this is a technique that's very rarely used in common repertoire. You kind of just come across it in basically just Paganini and a few other crazy violin composers. Now this next section is basically left-hand pits, which, as we all know, I wish Brett was the one doing this because he's the perfect pits boy. Now finally a slow section, a slow variation, except it's all on the G string, which makes it kind of challenging to make a very nice tone while also being tuned. Now this final variation is freaking annoying. It basically requires you to do a ricochet across 4 strings and to have it bounce evenly while your left hand is constantly switching between very awkward and uncomfortable chord positions, many of which requires you to stretch over 10th, 11th or even 12th. Yeah, Paganini had big hands, what can I say? This is it, the promised day. Kind of regretting that we only started learning this piece, well, I only started learning this piece less than 2 months before the date. But enough with the excuses. So here it is, the Paganini in full. I'm gonna do it all one take. Everything is one go from beginning to end. Hashtag no filter.
Bye.